Hi everyone, welcome to Addington News for this week, brought to you by the Bricken Winning Owners Bar. Of course, a massive time for them inside a couple of weeks out, Darren, from the Yearlings Sales. The Canterbury Parade was held yesterday, and I was talking to a couple of trainers and they said, gee, the horse has been presented well this year in challenging times, particularly in the north with the rain and the likes. But yeah, it's a great barometer of where the industry's at, and we just did a piece with Bob Butt actually about where he's at going to the Yearlings Sales this year, and he said very, very positive, and he's got a bit of tin in the back kick to have a crack with, so that's always a great thing to hear. Yeah,
look, it's as you say, a massive time for the industry. A lot of our sponsors are involved, obviously, with Yearling Sales, and a whole lot of syndicators out there that are looking to get people involved. So, look, yeah, huge time. Challenging times weather-wise with the heat down here and the rain up north, but yeah, the horses that we've seen and that you've seen in particular,
yeah, absolutely,
look magnificent, and a lot of them involved in social media now with a lot of stuff on there as well, so it's good.
Yeah, go to nzbstandardbred.co.nz, all the videos and photos and all the pedigree pages are there for you. We race this week, and it's the first Group 1 of the season, of the year now, that the calendar is the calendar year, of course. The Fahey Fence High Breeders, we go back to 1973. It was Royal Belmer. You think about horses like Bonnie's Chance, who won it 3 times, Blossom Lady, who won it 3 times, horses like Lento, Mainland Banner, you know, quality animals win this race.
Our very best mares win this race, and it's a race that everyone's very proud of winning.
Yep.
And the New Zealand standard breeding industry are so supportive of the whole structure of mares races, and, you know, in particular our own partner with mares races, Woodland Stud. So, you know, an exciting time. It's drawn a really good field. Poor old All-American Lover.
You'd think it was pref draw again this week.
Unbelievable, yeah. But she's got the ability to overcome that. But it's a great field, and as we've seen with the upset by Folklore a couple of weeks ago, we can get an upset in this race.
There's some depth in the mares, there really is.
100%.
And horses like Life's a Beach, who are unlucky, Lady of the Light, you go back and have a look at that race because it's well worth doing so. You can do it at HRNZ. Plenty happening out on the grass, and with the heat that we've had lately, it's probably a pretty good place to be. Chunky's Corner will be operating, so yeah, there's a bit happening.
Yeah, look, thank God we didn't do this last week with the heat, but as we've said, and as you've seen in the past, we had a wee bit of music and spectators from time to time.
Yep.
We're hopeful, as long as the weather's okay, that we'll do that just by the Chunky's Corner area during the race meeting, the back end of the race meeting, with a bit of music there from Anton. So that's something to look forward to. If the weather was a little bit inclement for that, for any reason, we'll just move him into spectators. So there will be music as part of the Group 1 meeting this week.
All right, before we have a look at a couple of those races from last week, there were a couple of crackers. These 3 gentlemen have got a big weekend ahead of them, haven't they? They're going coast to coast. Andy Ross, John Denton, and of course Brian Thompson. The Horse Ambulance Trust is what they're raising money for. That says it's at 3,000. I understand it's gone past 4 with a $1,000 donation from a licence holder who wishes to remain anonymous. So that's a very kind gesture from that gentleman. But get in behind it. It's a great cause, and these blokes have worked very hard to get themselves in the right condition to be able to complete it.
Yeah, look, it is a charity organisation, and they do such a great job. I see someone's actually challenged clubs to put in $100 each.
Yep.
As you say, we've got a licence holder who's been very generous. So the licence holders, owners, trainers, and everyone's the benefactor of having this facility on course that can transport a horse, if it is injured, as safely
as possible
and carefully to a clinic if it needs further treatment. And of course, one of the beauties of the horse ambulance is it lowers right to the ground once it's parked, so a horse doesn't have to walk up a ramp to get into it.
It's a brilliant piece of engineering, actually.
Like, it's incredible. And if you do have an opportunity at some of the race meetings where they have it on display, go and have a look, because it's far more than just a horse float.
Yeah, absolutely it is. So go to Give a Little, go into the search engine, put Horse Ambulance Trust, and you'll be able to donate. It's certainly a cause well, and good luck to those guys, because it's a great event to be part of. I can tell you from a personal point of view. So yeah, good luck to them.
Yeah, no, look, it's tremendous, and as you say, they're doing it for charity. There'll be a bit of pride there, and we'll be cheering them on at various places and tracking them on their way over.
Yeah, good luck to them. We said we'd have a look at some of the races from last week, Darren, and here was Mighty Louie doing what Mighty Louie has been doing since he's been back. Can't get that to go a bit bigger, D. Not really doing that. Oh, there it is there, my friend. Sort of. And here he is doing the business in front. One change, excellent. Thought Heisenberg very good as well. But he takes his place this week in the mile, taking on the mighty Krug. And since he's come back from Menangle, he's gone 52 at Nelson. He also won the second day there. He's a very, very good horse. And yeah, I think he won the Cup and then he won it in 52. But yeah, he'll be competitive this week. The mile starts, not everyone's going life, but he draws inside Krug, and that may well be the difference there.
Yeah, like we don't do it all the time. We try and have a mile every now and then. As you say, it's not everyone's cup of tea, but gee, we've seen some exciting finishes in these miles. And Mighty Louis is going to give Krug something to think about. He's a very competitive and quick horse, and that was quite a step up in class from what he had been racing as well.
Yep.
And he's moving his way certainly into that top echelon of free-for-all type horses.
And of course, trained by Robert and Gina Dunn, probably gives us a chance to have a shout out to RJ, hurt in a horse accident. He's pretty sore, according to Johnny, so we wish him well with his recovery.
Yeah, everyone's rallying around, and I know that we all know how active RJ is, and he'll be finding this pretty difficult, I would imagine.
Yep, absolutely he would. The other race we definitely need to have a look at, Darren, is this one. This is a flying machine in front, Muscle Mountain. Great to have him on course. He was to go to the Great Southern Star. That didn't quite turn out, but gee, he was just simply too classy here. Massive performance from Oscar Bonavina. His form since winning the race on Cup Day, the Worthy Queen, and since then he's just gone, he didn't win that actually, Majestic Man won that, but since about that time, he's just been going race after race after race like that. It's good to see him in good form, but yeah, Ian Dobson on course, Muscle Mountain getting the business done, and yeah, did it in pretty good style, and yeah, we'll look forward to seeing his next move.
Look, a super horse, but go and have a look at Stride Master. You can link at that from the HRNZ, from the Addington website, addington.co.nz. He's home in just over 25 the last quarter, Oscar Bonavina. I think Johnny Mack was very quick home. He was 25 and change home as well. One change, his last mile was 152.
Yeah.
And I did spot one that run 7th, I think, earlier in the program, JR Bromack. He wasn't that far from the winner, and his last mile, according to the Ultimate Racebook, which takes into account where they are on the track and everything else, is in 153.1.
Race 10 for him on Friday night.
That gets you pretty close in most races.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
As we say with that information, it demonstrates that some of the horses that are back in the field have really gone quite well, even though they've finished back, because you can't actually make that much ground.
No, so, exactly.
Yeah, it's worth having a look at.
We're going to do a full meeting preview very shortly, but if you wanted to have a couple of bets, Coney Island Lou resumes race 6, number 1, very, very hard to beat. And Paris Prince spoke to Blair Orange about how unlucky it was fresh up. I think it'll take a lot of beating in race number 9. You might want to back JR Bromack. But we'll have a look at all 10 races and a look at last year's breeders as well to remind you of what a great contest it can be.
All right, let's get into a full meeting preview. I've got the smoker behind me. Greg, looks quite good.
Yeah, quite tasty. It was about lunchtime too, as we record this. So, anyway, it's impressive, and I'll tell you what, it tastes as good as it looks, mate. So, anyone thinking about what might I have for tea on Friday night, head to Chunky's Corner and check that out. It's well worth a look.
Race number 1, we get underway, 5:23, the Phil and Glennis Kennar Bloodstock Mobile, a 1980-metre event.
Yeah, the rampage of Robert and Jenna Dunn, I think, might continue here, and they've got a very good chance with Dalton Shard. Look, last start win here was excellent. Prior form was really solid, and I think it's a massive chance. So I give it a really big hope of beating its stablemate Divine Angel, who won at Nelson, did it in good style there, and has actually raced pretty well since then too. Won't be easy from the outside of the front row, but the stable's going so well you can't count them out. Lizzie Richter's in stunning form, and courtesy of a couple of these, the new incentive around the junior drivers with Gemma Thorney, only half points every time she wins, so half of 6 is 3. She keeps staying in the same grade, so she's learned how to win and is a confident mare, so you've got to have her in. And Ferns Goldie's one that I've always had a bit of time for. Daniel Reardon trains, nice barrier draw. Hasn't raced since Ashburton just prior to Christmas. Prior form was excellent, so give it a chance too. 7, 9, 11 and 4.
Race 2, first leg of the early quaddie, Woodlands Stud. We sell winners trot, 2,600 at 5:48.
Yeah, they sell about 37, I think, yearlings at the sales, and they sell plenty of winners. Don't worry about that. What's Wanted by Creatine. Very smart 3-year-old. This proved that with the second day Blenheim win. Got it wrong the first day, but has shown us against better company as a 2-year-old that he's going to win some races and win plenty out of Arabesque. So it's certainly the Ford Tomlinson breed. Big chance. Boss Kenny always drops under the radar, and he'll do so again this week. Should be suited to the 2,600 metres. He's won 3 races. It's all been over the better distance, and of course he won at the cup meeting, so he really likes the highest level. They should run along a wee bit in this race. Almighty Fair's got a massive motor. Gavin Smith, the most informed driver last week, what do you have, about 6 or 7 wins, so he's going well. And Cody Banner gets into this race beautifully, and invariably when he does, if he can find the front, he'll give you a great sight. 3, 5, 11 and 6.
Race number 3 is XEM Sport Mobile 1980, and it gets underway at 6:13.
Yeah, good race, good maiden race. There's a bit of form to come out of this. Darby O'Gill's been good at the trials. Spoke to Blair Orange about his most recent, where he drove him, and he said, look, he hasn't got the greatest attitude, this horse, but clearly he's got a motor. He looped around them, took the lead and won as he liked. He's got the right barrier draw to operate from, and that'll give him a great chance in this. Also spoke to Regan Todd about Holy Hecker, who did a good job in his 2 runs first up. Last one was in a size stakes heat from memory, and or it might have been his first up run, but he's a pretty smart horse, this guy, and he trialled nicely and behind Darby O'Gill, just running to the line and under his own steam. So I'll give him a chance. Mickey Bennett for the Stephen Amanda Telfer and Hayden Cullen team. That's a bit of a mouthful, isn't it? We're going to have to get used to doing that, though, because they're going to win plenty of races, and the son of always be Mickey's not the worst. And Sharper's Attack was back from 14s into 4s first up, went a great race for second, and behind Bryce's Medal, who's very talented, and then just got things wrong last time. He's definitely got the race ability, just not the race track ability at the moment. So he'll improve a bit, and from barrier 1, he'll get his chance. 2, 7, 4 and 1.
Race number 4, NZB Standard Yearlings Sales are the 19th to the 22nd of February. Free for all mobile mile, Greg, at 6:38. And
Yep.
gee, there's only 6 of them here, but there's some fireworks going to happen in this. And if we get a warm night like we've had, they're going to go pretty quick.
Yeah, they are, and the mile's always slightly tricky at the start. The benefactor of that will be Coravalley Start. Gets off the machine very quickly. It'll lead for sure. It'll hold them early, hold them to maybe the winning post, take a trail. And if you're thinking trifecta and first 4s, don't leave it out of your combinations. Mighty Louis low flying. He's just going great races, winning his last 3 in a row, of course. He won the main race there on the first day, which was the Cup, and then came out and won the mile in 1:52. If he goes something similar here, then it'll be really hard to track back. Krug's the class horse of the field, the Invercargill Cup winner. He got beaten in the Central Otago Cup last time when most people didn't expect him to get beaten. And from barrier 6, he basically has to go back at the start. You can't just keep going. And if he does, he'll get beaten, in my opinion. And I don't know if he's a get back in the horse type, get back in the field type of horse. And saying that, he's only going to be 3 lengths off the lead. So if he can't cop it in this race, then he's in a bit of trouble, and he's potentially going to the Miracle Mile. So they'll be wanting to find out. And Laver just needed that run the other night. He's much better than that. McAndrew Aviator's in there. You can't discount him. He was a late nomination. Nor Henry Hubert. Cracking Contis. 4, 6, 1 and 3.
Look, I reckon this is a great race that the TAB could get involved in. A couple of things they do for the other codes at various times. Early Crow would be a good one here, who's in front with the winning post with a lap to go. And what time they're going to go?
Overall time.
I don't know, Greg. What do you think they could go? They're going to go better than 52, surely.
Well, they can. And I tell you what, if it was last week in the heat, they definitely would have. But I suppose it comes down to pressure, Darren. And if there is some pressure in the race, they absolutely can go close to the Addington track record, which I think is about 51.5.
Something like that, I think, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll clarify that, and hopefully it'll get broken on Friday night.
Now, there could be a couple of nice betting options there. A bit of a challenge, I suppose, for the TAB. Race number 5, last leg of that early quaddie, Open City Ford Mobile, 1980 at 7:03.
Yeah, Captain Tom's a good horse, no question about that. Is he good enough to win from the inside second row? Well, racetrack luck is going to have to play its part. He's won 3 of 4. He beat With Style really easily last time, and he's immensely talented. I think Nathan Williamson, is he driving him? Brad and him seem to be swapping around a bit. Of course, he's only 2 off 1,000 wins, so this could be one step closer. I'm going to go for him on top, but he will need some luck. The Falcon's in there. He's a very, very talented horse, as we know. He won the Country Cups Championship, and his form tapered off towards the spring and into Cup time. So they put him aside. He's back now, and I expect him to go a pretty good race. He's been at the trials. He's been winning at the trials. All by Myself loves Addington. It's got a chance, and Winegum the same. 10, 8, 6, and 4, but tricky sort of a race, D.
Race number 6, Braden Lodge Yearlings 2023. Mobile pace 1980, 728, and a big time of the year for Braden Lodge and for Neverly R as well, Greg.
Yep, 11 in the sale, 11 colts. You know, they've had some amazing horses over the years. So you think about Franco Emirate, Nerea Franco. Look, the list goes on all the way back to about 1980. I think they've been preparing for about 40 years or so. So, yeah, check them out at spradenlodge.co.nz, and you might find your next champion there. Nike Franco is another one that springs to mind, who set the tracks alight in Australia, of course. So, yeah, it's a great breed, and I'm sure they'll have some pretty nice horse flesh. Well, they have, because I've seen them go around at the sales. Right, Coney Island Lou, hard to beat, inside draw. Cran and Chrissy Dalgetty, very, very good win before it was put aside. It's been to the trials and won both of those down. Will be ready to go a big race. Tack McLeod's the interesting runner. Nathan Williamson for Trevor Proctor. Couldn't have been more impressive on debut. It's another one by Sweet Lou. Both Coney Island Lou in it. Might run the Quinella here. Coachella's by Sweet Lou as well. What a great advertisement for that sire going into the Yearlings Sales. And my 4th selection is Sweet Diamond. It's by Sweet Lou too. So I'm going for a Sweet Lou first for 1, 5, 2, and 3 in the 6th.
The first leg of the last quaddie, or the late quaddie, is the feature of the night, the Group 1 Fahey Fence Hire New Zealand Breeders' Stakes. A mobile 2,600 metres for $90,000, and we get underway at 7:54.
Yeah, what a good contest this is. And it's been enhanced somewhat by All American Lover drawing the outside. Look, she's the best mare in the race, I think, but I don't think it'll be any gift. And saying that, 2,600 metres negates that draw somewhat, and I can't see her going back at the start. I really can't. She's come up $3. She deserves to be favourite. She's not the one I've gone for on top, though. Lady of the Light was unlucky in the Garrard's Premier Mares, as was Life's a Beach. Both of those will be in this up to their blimmin' eyeballs, I reckon. And Cully's Delight copped all of that pressure trying to get the lead, and then only succumbed late in the piece. I could see her being competitive from the inside without having to do much work. That's leaving out Folklore, who won the Premier Mares, Manhattan, Better's Tard, who was 4th in that, Playfully's a really nice horse. Joe's Rock's done some good things down south, an excellent time. This is a deep race. It won't just be a walk in the park. I'll go 2, 9, 7, and 1, but you could throw them up and down a few times, Darren, and they'd land differently, and I'd be probably quite happy with that. Good race. Looking forward to the Group 1.
Yeah, it'll be a beauty. Talking about the early crow, Greg, and that principle of who's in front, the winning post the first time or the last time. But one of the features of the Ultimate Race Book is that ability to tell you which horses consistently begin quickly based on their data.
Yeah,
not always the best horse in the race, but the ones that put themselves in a nice position out of the gate. So it's worth having a look at that as well. Race number 8 is the Air Park Canterbury Pace, a 2,000 metre race. Big supporters of Addington Air Park Canterbury, and we get underway at 8:19.
Yeah, thinking of parking your car, going on that overseas holiday that you've been hanging out for the last 3 years, make sure you park your car there. Speaking of looking up data, one of the best beginners here is Kingsdown Adam, 2,000 metre stand. You got to step very quickly, and I reckon I can win this race. He's been racing really well. He gets in with a beautiful draw here. I know he's only won once at Addington, but John Morrison's got him going well, and I reckon he'll be hard to beat. I'll go for him ahead of Yankee J, who fresh up, she was good. She'd only derived plenty out of that. That was at Ashburton a couple of 3 weeks ago. 13, Better Than Diva. It'll be not without a chance here. The mare by Better Than Cheddar, who is racing well, had 3 runs back this time in, due to put her hand up, and Songbird and Cypress off the front there. They'll be in it too, maybe first 4 players. It's probably the trickiest leg of your quaddie. You need to take quite a few, but I do like Kingsdown Adam. Probably a 2 over 3 type bet, or if you're 3 over 7 or something like that, because I reckon he'll run in the money, just whether he can win or not.
Race number 9, the Continental Event Hire Mobile Trot, 2,600 metres, 8:44.
As I mentioned earlier in the Addington News, I think Paris Prince is one of the bets of the week. First up run, excellent. Will only derive plenty out of that. Blair Orange has got a bit of confidence from that. Drawn up nicely in barrier 5. Placed from behind the mobile before. Yep, I'm all over Paris Prince this week. I think it's one of the bets of the evening. Sue Princess. She's been up for a long time. You're sort of waiting for her to drop off. And I thought her last run at Oamaru was not at her absolute peak, but I'm not saying she can't bounce back because she gets into this race beautifully. Royal Dell was first up but last week, and again, he'll derive plenty out of that. So you would accord him a good chance. And Spider Moment was excellent here last week too, or 2 weeks ago, behind Martha Stewart, who subsequently won again. So 5, 9, 6 and 3 in the 9th.
The last race, as it normally is, First Direct Taxi's Mobile Pace 1980 at 9:09.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 6. My numbers here. Double time. Looking for 3 in a row. He's got the right barrier draw to operate from. Robert and Jenna Dunn, John Dunn on the bike. That'll do me. Ajira for the Dalgetties. Got a nice draw. Forget about last time. Had to sit parked, and it ended up getting a reasonable run after that, but probably not its go in life. You mentioned JR Bromag. I reckon that'll probably shorten it up a wee bit. Nice draw. Ken Barron. Yeah, look, I agree with you. I think it's a massive chance in this race. Tremendous lovers in good form, and the interesting runners Jack Tarr, who's having its first start for Team Hope. So, yeah, it's a good race, but I think the advantage goes to those drawn on the inside, and therefore I'll go for double time. Just reiterating, Darren, Coney Island Lou into Paris Prince, pretty good multi, I think, races 6 and 9.
Yeah, it sounds a good option, Greg. As we said, we've got a bit of music on the lawn. Hopefully that'll carry on just after the last race for a little bit. Wee bit of an atmosphere out there, which will be cool. We're going to leave you with last year's Group 1. A victory for Regan Todd and Robbie Close, Greg, with Better Talk Art. They got a real kick out of this.
Yeah, they absolutely did. It was massive for both of those gentlemen, and to do it together, I know what it meant to them. So they've got Playfully in this year's. I'm not so convinced that she'll be ready to win at Group 1 level, but many people weren't expecting this either.
Need You Now awaits the lane. Wider out, Better Talk Art and All-American Lover. Better Talk Art going to All-American Lover. Need You Now getting through from Kelly's Delight. Need You Now and Better Talk Art. Kelly's Delight late. It's Better Talk Art in front. Robbie Close and Regan Todd get the Group 1. Better Talk Art beats home either Need You Now or Kelly's Delight. Fourth in All-American Lover. Then came Folklore from Darling Me, Better Twist. Better's Tarts, Life's a Beach and Belle of Montana was pulled up quickly.